Coach Helen for UFit Studio. Now, my initial live, I'm going to keep to the skeleton of it because I did call it the holiday countdown, and the kind of way I was going to go with it is what I kind of see over quite a lot, especially if you're hosting a Christmas or were hosting a Christmas, right? There's a lot of pressure in getting it right? There's a lot of pressure on making it a special day, like the Christmas cards. We like look inside the window with the fireplace on, with the smell, like the snow outside, and it's like ho ho ho, like really loving life. They're great. They seem to have no arguments as a family, right? They're like, yeah, you're the best. Yeah, we're the best. We love each other. And there's a lot of pressure to recreate that scene, I think, or any scene you have in mind. There might be Robin, by the way. I might have missed out the Robin. Robin's important to that scene, right? Little Robin sat on the wall outside going, oh, look at me, I'm happy. Because it's a happy Christmas scene now. The pressure to create that perfect day can usually cause some kind of stress levels, right? Some kind of stress levels. Which usually just erupts for the next few days. So that was, I was going to go on that track, and then I was going to go through some coping mechanism, etc. for that. Now with the news over the weekend, that kind of bombed a little bit. In that, really, what people were planning for in terms of 5 days, or let's just say most people are doing one relative Christmas Eve, then Christmas Day, then Boxing Day, great split days. So 3 days of creating the perfect scenario and bounce around here and there. And the reality is that that's been changed for reasons out of our control. Now, that's not to say the responses I've seen over the last 48 hours and the mindset of some of the people I'm speaking to, and again, I've said, including my own, hasn't been of frustration, right? Of frustration. And understandably so. Again, not saying I'm above it. I'm not immune. Now, what was interesting is that, again, I mentioned, if you just joined me, I mentioned before the live that I'd been on a course on Saturday morning online, and it was I do this occasionally because I actually find it fascinatingly useful. It was a course run by the Buddhist Centre in Leicester online, and if you ever want to tune, I find I'm at the point in life where I can actually absorb it and understand it better now. I'm going to quote something that he said pre the announcement, right? So this guy called Roland, don't know his surname, he didn't tell you on the course, but I'm giving credit for this quote, right? Because I find it fascinating. And again, this course material came pre the announcements, right? So this is Saturday morning. All right, this is what he said. The quality, right? The quality of your Christmas experience depends on the quality of your mind. Now, at the time, right, he used the example, which I am again going to give him credit for. And I'm going to take credit for, give it credit. No, I'm not going to take credit for it. I'm going to give him credit for it. Oops. I'm giving him credit for it because he said, imagine, you see, so I'm going to say it again before I go into the example. The quality of your Christmas experience depends on the quality of your mind. So let's imagine, in the scenario that he used, you have someone around for dinner and you had a conversation pre that they were meant to make the dessert. And they turn up on the doorstep. They're like, oh, I forgot. Was I meant to do that? And you're like, yeah, we had the text. You were like, there's 10 people here, dude. You're doing dessert. We talked about this. And they're like, yeah, I didn't do it. Now, in that example, you're saying, well, you could be someone who just sits on that. You could be having your dinner, like, quietly, like, mulling it over. Like, your person did not. There's no dessert. This isn't ruined. There is no dessert. Christmas is... What you do is get a dessert. There's a text. And someone's like, yeah, right over there. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, great. Yeah, having a good time. Yeah. Right? Now, it was a great example because, I mean, he was talking about, being aware of your thought processes on the day, because actually the quality of your day will be lost in being annoyed at somebody for something that is no longer out of your control. You can find a solution. There's always a solution to something, depending on what's in your control or not. Now, then the announcement came, and I was thinking, yeah, they're right, this guy on this course, Roland. Wish I had his surname, I still give him credit, right? Because what's happened is that what I'm seeing already pre-Christmas is the potential for people to be on the day, on Christmas Day, and be very much like that example of the person who forgot the dessert, but they're aiming it all at Boris, potentially, or someone else, right? But theoretically, I'm going to say that there's a lot of kind of external, what's the word I want to use? I have to think of the word if you're experiencing this as well as maybe watching this on either platform. Frustration, maybe, of something, that something hasn't gone according to plan, that it's no longer the perfect picture, that on the day it's going to be a comparison all the way through, like we would be doing this, or this person would be here, and it would have been greater if we could do this or done this. And in focusing on all the things that were shoulda, coulda, woulda been on the day, actually we lose the quality of the Christmas experience, because the quality of our mindset is somewhere else. So our thoughts are focused on all the things that could have been and are not, and we are missing out on, or potentially ignoring the moments that we have the opportunity to have. Like, as much as they are not as we would wish. I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, I'm not like whatever. I said I had my own moments. I had my own moments yesterday, right? And my plans have changed, right? However, I accept, as challenging as it is for myself, the thought process. He said to become aware. So become aware of the moment of which your thoughts move away from on the day, from the quality of enjoying time with the what we have, because it comes but once a year. And if we already go into the mindset of which I've also heard, Christmas is cancelled, right? I've already had this, like, flat out, well, Christmas is cancelled, so what's the point? Now, as much as I understand someone's frustration, I have a complete, and I did have a conversation with this person as well along these lines. The concern is that there's going to be lots of other people out there, and it might be you yourself, that's on the same thought process. Now, if you begin the process now at the beginning of the week, thinking that Christmas is cancelled, guess what? Christmas will be cancelled on the day, because you will not be involved, you will be not present, you'll be constantly thinking about the things that were meant to be and not being creative with what you have. There will be the, what else I put down? And annoyed, like there's no the annoyment of the situation will actually hinder you from actually showing love to the people around you that are there, because you'll be lost in your own frustration, you'll be lost in your own anger, right? You'll be lost in your own thoughts, rather than the thoughts of people around you, or the feelings of people around you who are also feeling it and feeling that pain and frustration at the situation. What will happen is that you'll end up just looking towards yourself. If you go into it thinking it should have been different, right, guess what? It will be different, because you'll be focused on that, not on what's happening right now. So I want to go back to that quote again. But I've explained it a little bit more, right? So the quality of your Christmas experience depends on the quality of your mind. So when we talk about mind, when I talk about mind, and I've touched on a little bit through it, so I'm going to go into a little bit more into what I mean by mind as well. Now, mind is the thought process, right? The words in which we say to ourselves. Now, I've talked about this before in the sense that a thought leads to an emotion, and an emotion leads to an action. Now, if I, and I've talked about how as well, anybody, all of us can make ourselves angry by latching onto a thought, right, that elicits an emotion, right? And once we start to latch onto it, we nurture it, we repeat it, we elaborate on it inside our heads, right? We make it bigger, right? We can create that emotion, and then the behavior is whatever that emotion is, right? So likewise, we can make ourselves upset. We think about something very sad, we keep focusing on it, keep thinking about it, keep using words around it. We can make ourselves emotional, we can make ourselves angry, we can make ourselves any emotion. And when we think about this scenario, saying what's happened in the terms of the quality of your Christmas experience, right? That's the word I've used there. Christmas experience. I've taken this word, Ronan's words, right? Christmas experience, his words, depends on the quality of your mind. What it really is saying is, and if I was to reword that in the way I'd explain it, it's the quality of your Christmas experience depends on the quality of your thoughts to some degree. The quality, or maybe a different word, the direction of your thoughts. So I'd reword that now after the announcement, considering that this guy did not know. The quality of a Christmas experience depends on the direction of your thoughts. So if you direct your thoughts and you latch on to an idea of this should have been this should have been this, and this should have happened, and you start to elaborate, right? So going back to initial explanation, you elaborate on it. You say more, you imagine more, you think about how it was meant to be. You almost indulge in that anger, you build it. And then each of you, imagine this doing this now, imagine you're probably getting pissed off. I'm just putting you in a pissed off state, right? However, it's about the awareness, and that's exactly what they were teaching us on the course when this announcement, right? It's awareness of your thoughts, because they'll dictate how you react, your behaviours at the end of it. So your reaction might be on the day, no, like I said, no, because you've been sitting there thinking about it. You're thinking about the thoughts. Your mind has been focused on your thoughts. Those thoughts have created an emotion. So when it comes to your behaviour on the day, and I think all of you will imagine yourself in this situation, and if you haven't had to make changes, you probably haven't. I think 100% of people I've spoken to over the last 3 hours really have made changes, apart from one, I think. But that was because it's quite small anyway. But so far, everyone has had to make changes. So I think all of us, again, including me, will have the thought process on the day. Like, is this how I imagined it? Is this how I wanted it? Is this how I want it now? And then even myself at that time, I'm going to challenge myself to come back to the fact that I've just talked about this on a Facebook Live, right? And I've been on a course to learn more about this and to actually put this into action. So in that moment when it happens, because I'm sure as hell know it's going to happen to me, I have to challenge myself, and I'm welcoming you to challenge yourselves to think about the quality of your experience based on where you direct your thoughts over the Christmas period. Whatever that turns out to be for any of us, right? It's the direction of your thoughts that will dictate how much you really do enjoy it. If you put your enjoyment in the hands of somebody who you've never even met and blame that person for not having the Christmas you want, you will guaranteed not have it, because that's what you've done. Whereas you have control over your thoughts, your emotions, and therefore your behaviours over this Christmas period based on the direction of your thoughts. And that is why I changed the live, because whilst my topic was awesome, right? It was always awesome. I think it's important to really redirect. And again, we may well be challenged even more over the next few days, right? And again, the quality of mind, the direction of your thoughts will dictate how you respond. So always bear that in mind. I would recap. Essentially what I'm saying is, reach out and talk to me. Like, if you're any of our clients, you know, my client, if you're any clients who you fit, and you kind of get where I'm going, you understand this, so you've had this process yourself, your thought over the last 24 hours, message me, talk to me about it, because this is why I go to these courses, because it's amazing where you can go in life to find different material and different ways of looking at something that can really change your perception. Like I said, I'm being honest, I have absolutely been challenged in the last 24 hours, okay? Absolutely. My plans have entirely changed. Entirely, right? So it's hard. I accept that it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy to accept the changes, and it doesn't bring out emotions. It doesn't make me feel sad or frustrated or angry. I also have a choice, though, to be present on the day and enjoy my Christmas experience, whatever it may be. Or I have a choice to write it off now, and then continue to look back over the next year in the same mindset and recall that was how I responded. Now I know which way I want to go. I want to enjoy my Christmas experience, whatever experience is going to be. As challenging as that might be for me this year, and it's going to be challenging for all of us in different ways. The main thing is that I want to be engaged and present. I would hope and wish for that exact same experience for all of you watching and listening, because I think that's still important, whatever the circumstances. Holiday cheer, right? That is me done on that one. I'm back tomorrow. What day is tomorrow? It's Tuesday. Yeah, I am tomorrow doing a live. I must change it again. So tomorrow is about what's important over the Christmas period. Again, dependent. I may or may not change the topic, just to make it more applicable to current situations. As always, if you guys want to ask me any questions, or again, like I said, if you want to share your experiences or changes you've had to make, if you're my client or not, then message me. Happy to support. In the meantime, as always, enjoy your evening, and I will catch you again tomorrow.